Get yourself comfortable. You know how we do it. Shake that head.
So if you want to be game-changing, trend-setting, hipster-grooving, booty-shaking, stick around because I'm going to show you some of the best hangouts in America.
Now, baby, let me see what you're working with. Shake that head. Now, baby, let me see what
From the streets of Mumbai stretching right across to the west. This year it's got to be the land of stars and stripes.
And smile!
You guessed it right. Over the next few weeks, I'll be living it up in the 3 hottest cities of America.
New York City, you and me are going to have a love affair.
Oh, the familiar sights of Manhattan. Whether you've been to America or you dreamt of going, you must have seen it all in the movies. I'm going to taste every bit of this city.
This is a city that loves celebrating. This is a city that loves coming together. This is Chicago!
Camera around the neck, tighten up the shoelaces. The Chicago sun is perfect for a day out. And just when you start missing the outdoors, we head to Seattle. Oh, you're going to love this one.
Hello, Seattle!
But step 1 of travel, get your visa stamped. Embassy time means that I'm doing pretty darn well on my New Year resolution. On a mission to visit the coolest country to hang out. Passport check.
आपके भाई आप लोग फोन करते हैं?
Yes.
कितने बार?
Hindi speaking visa officer? Well, check. And finally, a stamp to one of the most awesomest countries of the world? Check. It's seductive, it's sexy, it's downright incredible. I just can't wait to get to America. Mind you, New York City comes with a disclaimer. It's seriously addictive. Just loving the energy of this place.
I've heard that a lot of films that have been shot in New York have actually used the corner of 34th and 5th as a location. It's not just about hanging out. It's about hanging out in some of the greatest cities in America.
We love New York. Because I'm a foodie, she's a foodie, she's a foodie.
I might call it.
A canon of fashion, style, great food, and the most famous skyline. I spot the Empire State Building. 1, 2, 3, 103 stories. Now that's something hard to miss.
I feel like Meg Ryan waiting for Tom Hanks. Clearly, the Empire State Building is that perfect place to find true romance.
This place is a big barrel of fun, and I'm getting high on it already. Gotta amp up your evening? Take just one road, the one that gets you to Times Square. But don't stand anywhere but right in the middle of these glitzy boards. This place is travelicious.
We love New York because it's New York.
And because we have
You
each
have
other.
to visit New York
Come to
City.
New York.
Come to
It's
New
amazing.
York.
Come stai?
Nothing stops a New Yorker to cheer on loudly at the Columbus Day Parade. Not even this chilly morning. This has always been a city of immigrants, and the cultural mashup makes it so interesting.
Happy Columbus Day!
The one day on Fifth Avenue when fashion is out and culture is in.
I'm so excited to be in New York at this time. I've happened to catch the Columbus Day Parade, and it is amazing to see so many people in this culturally diverse city come together and celebrate the American-Italian heritage. I like it.
heritage, you know. I've been, American Italian. It's been since my grandparents have been here. I always used to come with them, and now here I am on my own now, but it's the greatest thing.
What the atmosphere is like, what the parade is like.
It's always festive and everybody's friendly.
It's like nothing you can imagine, It's just everybody just here having a good time.
Perfect bait and twirl, pom-poms, bands, parades, and all things American. I'm feeling the buzz.
Songs from Machiavelli, who wrote The Prince 500.
I've managed to wriggle my way through the rush to stand right up ahead. Did I just spot the cardinal? There's gotta be at least 1 million folks here, the biggest celebration of Italian-American culture. As Godfather would have said, I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. Well, I'm gonna make you an offer that you can't refuse. Taking you to the most happening cities of America.
Happy Columbus Day!
So long, Columbus Day. You were awesome. And now, moving to something even awesomer. Follow me.
All this walking in New York is definitely going to build up an appetite. So let me give you my list of top 5 iconic New York foods.
The bottomless pit that my stomach is feels so at home here. I'm hitting all the top food joints that define New York. Like all Mumbaikars, I need to start with a spicy snack. I've got my hands on a big juicy hot
A
dog.
hot dog at any hot dog stand, practically at any corner.
But hey, my mind's racing to the 100-year-old Lombardi's for pizza.
New York is a pizza town. When people come to New York, they go to the Empire State Building, they go to the Statue of Liberty, and they go to Lombardi.
Pizza at Lombardi's.
Or wait, should I go for Lindy's cheesecake first?
The perfect slice of Lindy's world-famous New York cheesecake.
And I still haven't bitten into the perfect New York bagel. Come to Mama.
New York's favorite breakfast food. Bagels.
And the final chomp down to Carnegie Deli, for which you'll definitely need elastic pants.
We're on the Monopoly board of Carnegie Deli. We were in the New York Times, Carnegie Deli. We're famous, iconic landmark, like all over.
Carnegie Deli's really famous pastrami corned beef sandwich, popularly known as the Woody Allen sandwich. And I think today the only way I can eat this monster is like this.
Gotham City is definitely Paradise City for foodies. So not like all that food comes onto the waistlines. New York is dead serious about fashion. Looking at celebrities, their pooches, and anyone in between, you would seriously want to loosen up those purse strings and go shopaholic. Gotta keep my credit card in check. Whew, I'm all shopped out. And the only place where I'd love to chill now is the greenest patch of New York. In the middle of all these buildings, it's like an oasis, and it's called Central Park.
This time
around here feels like I'm in a Hollywood movie. After all, I am in the most filmed location of the world. And this isn't even the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more that I'm going to explore just for you in New York.
These are meant to be the best days of our lives. Oh yeah, so come over here. These are meant to be the best days of our lives. Oh yeah, so come over here.
Welcome to Chicago.
Before we get started, the city of Chicago, they love us and they love our show. But they tell us that we must have self-control. Obama, 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 I love that guy. That's my uncle.
Moving west to Chicago, and the vibe changes like the wind.
I go hard to the finish.
Okay, I admit I'm awestruck.
Bush was cool.
The biggest, the baddest, the tallest. This is the city of skyscrapers. It's Chicago, baby.
It's windy, but it's blown my mind for completely different reasons.
That's all I use. Name brand from my shirt down to my shoes.
I love Chicago because it's the cultural center of the world.
Word is my bond if I say I do. You fake dudes,
The
fabric.
largest city in the Midwest with so much to explore.
To 'em. I really ran through them hand to hand. Delicate.
Stunning architecture, sports, art, and of course, music.
It's the best place to be young and love music and theater and art.
Chicago's got an amazing music scene, great art scene, a lot of culture, a lot of history.
Citizen, third eye vision, overseeing what you miss.
We love Chicago. We love the city. We like to be close to everything that's fun, the boat, the lake, and all the delicious food.
And hot dog is one of the best parts about it.
Ambition, words and descriptions.
What vada pav is for Bombay or butter chicken is for New Delhi, well, that is what hot dogs are for Chicago.
Be my enemy.
And smash.
My favorite part? The loop bridges. Looks familiar? Here's a hint. Action, Amir, bike. Yeah, you got it. You've seen it in Dhoom 3. When I'm done being a bit of a daredevil myself, there's another thing I'd like to do below. Making friends on the streets and feeling dwarfed under the tallest buildings. Keep that camera out, cause you'll be needing it a lot. This is American architecture at its best. The Chicago skyline makes me feel like I'm in the middle of this humongous Lego set. A beautiful one at that.
I love Chicago because I think Chicago is a very culturally rich, family-friendly city. It has a lot to offer in terms of architecture.
My personal favorite amongst these skyscrapers, the second highest building in America, the Willis Tower, of course.
We are one of the birthplaces of the skyscraper. So when we talk about tall buildings, this is the place to come. Whether it's a historic structure or a modern structure, this is the city where innovation happens.
The best way to see this innovation is on the boat cruise. But the most creative gift from Chicago to the world is something else. Oh, the Chicago Blues. Chicago inside is equally exciting as outside, especially the pubs. The music scene of Chicago is infectious. Now it could be the blues bug or some bit of soul. One just can't stop humming here. I'm going to be hitting up a lot of bars and some live gigs. Can't wait.
If you want something good, you got to spin some jack.
Chicago's favorite music to America's favorite sport. Yep, American football. The party's always on. While the local team, the Chicago Bears, prep for the big game, the high-spirited celebrations kick off in the parking lot of the stadium.
Empty bottles and wine on the wall. Living every day just like it was the weekend.
Fire up your barbecue, get your jerseys on, and fit right into the tailgate party.
So who cares if you don't have tickets? All you need to do is come out here in the parking lot, put up a little bit of a barbecue, have some drinks, hang out with your friends, maybe not even go in and watch the match and just continue staying here.
There's blue everywhere. You better arrive thirsty for this one. Moving on from Bears to the Cubs, you feel like you've hit a home run even visiting the famous Wrigley Stadium. Chicago, it's been a sporty, musical and art-filled time. It was really nice to meet you.
These are meant to be the best days of our lives. Well, yeah, so come over here. These are meant to be the best days of our lives. Well, yeah, so come over here.
Snowy Mount Rainier, the neck-stretching Space Needle, or just the breezy edge of Elliott Bay, Seattle, I'm already hooked.
Seattle is nestled between the mountain range and the bay, and it has some amazing things to do.
Time for the Mumbai girl to get a bite of Seattle, a big dollop of the outdoors topped with yummy food. If you're a Grey's Anatomy fan,
This is the setting.
you'll love coming to Seattle. Fat chance you're going to spot McDreamy here though. I'm gonna settle for some other Hollywood pad.
Tom Hanks actually lived in a houseboat during the shooting of Sleepless in Seattle. One of the scenes was actually shot here.
I love Seattle because it's so green and there's so much nature there and trees, and everyone's very, very passionate about what they do in Seattle.
Seattle's all about the outdoors. I'm gonna get my vada pav stuffed self into shape, and there's no perfect place than this. Skateboarding, anyone? Bone crushing, jaw breaking,
This is much more difficult than it actually looks.
but I have to nail this.
What I am dressed for is doing something that most Seattleites love doing. Getting out into the sea. Let's go. All right, Johnny.
Hey guys,
What are we doing today?
we're going sea kayaking in Elliott Bay with the best view of our cityscape. Hi guys, welcome out to Puget Sound, which is the gateway to the Pacific Ocean. It's the biggest estuary on the West Coast.
In Seattle, you've got everyone on the move. It's all about being fit. Me? Well, my biggest trek was up to the 520 feet high Space Needle. The most recognizable landmark. But of course, in a lift. It's up, up, and away! Tons of people here to get a slice of that stunning view. Check out what Seattle looks like any time of the day.
I'm 520 feet in Seattle. Hello, Seattle! The state of Washington is surrounded by these beautiful mountains, rainforests, and Seattle has these amazing islands that you can visit.
Seattle, I love the mountains and the water, how you can see them both together. It's one of my favorite things.
So if you have a couple of hours to yourself and you want to take out a little bit of time, just hop onto the ferry.
I've got to get the big landmark, the Ferris wheel, in the picture.
A city that was and today is a major port will obviously have a thriving waterfront. And baby, this is where all the action is. Check this out.
Wonder where I'm getting all this energy from? Well, it's my essential caffeine fix at none other than the oldest Starbucks of the world. The wild child in me loves the fact that there are tons of indie music places in Seattle. So organic, so homegrown. It's just like jamming with buddies. Kurt Cobain, Alice in Chains, Jimi Hendrix, Soundgarden, they all were Seattle based. The list just goes on.
In Seattle, there is so much edge to the music, so much fractality,
Right.
that it doesn't matter what is your favorite genre,
Yeah.
you'll find something that's amazing for you.
What is it that you love about Seattle?
I would make it in one word,
Yeah.
it would be food music.
So now I know that Mumbai and Seattle, well, they have something in common. No one ever wants to go home early. And all this partying makes one hungry.
Seattle is amazing because we have so much great food.
It's yummy tummy time at any hour of the day.
One thing I love about Seattle is the food. All the food.
Seattle's hungry for just good food. They appreciate things that are a little bit different.
Food also, we have seafood, lots of seafood. It's really good.
Back in Gotham City, I'm gonna let my hair down in the most vibrant spot, the Times Square. The only purpose of this area, to leave you wide-eyed and wanting more. But make sure all of you come back next week, because this was just dipping in and out of all the fun that I'm gonna go through hanging out in America.